When you say use your cards as intended, what specifically do you mean by this? So, there are cards with credits. There are cards with lots of credits. There are cards with so many credits that they like to tell you how much outsized value you'll get from your credits. If you are someone who pursues these cards, and the key benefit to you in your mind is I will minimize my spend for these credits to the absolute lowest so that I can enjoy the credits, convince myself that I am making money on this credit card. And when it comes to the end of the year, and I'm curious as to why I don't have a significant number of membership reward points, or I don't have a significant number of Chase Ultimate reward points, or I don't have a significant number of Capital One miles don't count because you just use your $300 coupon. And if you're not using your $300 coupon, what's wrong with you? Just downgrade to the Venture. Go home. The movie's over. Leave. Sorry, weird reference. And so that is not using the card as intended. That is using the card to convince yourself that you absolutely should continue to have this card. You're going out of your way and manipulating your spend and trying to get one over on the house when, again, credit cards and banks operate on casino rules because where do you think the casinos learn their trick? The house always wins. When you're minimizing your spend to that $10 pickup option to go pick up two Voodoo Rangers at Speedway with the $10 credit from DoorDash. No, I have not done this. No, I will never do this. But if this is your way of getting your $10 credit, minimizing the spend, if you weren't going to do that without the card, that's not using your card as intended. Using your card as intended is going out, and if you're still reaping the benefits that are listed, great. If you're organically using things like the Lyft credit every month and you do one or two rides on Lyft for, let's call it let's not call it that, adult socialization. Adult socialization. We'll call it that because you're just going to a bar. Forget that. Going to the bar. You're going to the bar and you can't drive home. Lyft, one ride, save $10 a month with the Chase Sapphire Reserve. Boom. Uber, one ride, save an ungodly number of dollars depending on how many American Express cards you have attached to your Uber account. And you just have to pay with one Uber card. One Uber card has to be the payment card, but like all the Uber benefits are there when you use that one card. That's using your card as intended. Manipulating your way around the credits to convince yourself that you get full benefit out of the credits is not using your card as intended. Like making your first travel purchase on the Sapphire Reserve exactly $300. Why? That is typically for me what I mean when I say use your cards as intended. Just use the cards. Stop overthinking it. Just do the thing. Other things would just be like, hey, you have the Wells Fargo autograph card. That is a travel, transit, dining card and streaming here and there. What should be your primary, if that is your main card for that, what should be the first card you pull out if you're at a gas station or at the train station or booking flights? It would be that card. You'll have other cards that also have travel eventually, but that would be the main card for those things. I've gone on long enough and filibustered. RJ, how do you define using your cards as intended?
So I agree with the things that you pointed out. I would also say, oh, if I book this flight and then cancel it, I get all of that money into like my United Travel Bank or whatever. So people will do it and then they'll wait a certain number of days and then they'll cancel. And then if it doesn't show up there, they'll call customer service and beg, borrow, and steal to try to get them to like do whatever they have to do on the back end. They'll make up stories about dead relatives or whatever. That is not using your card as intended. Also, you're being a jackass to the customer service rep who has to deal with you. And I understand that we don't like the don't like the answer, hang up, call again is propagated, but like they track that stuff. Like things get broken because people do that. I understand it might work for you, but give it a year and it probably won't work for you anymore because you're propagating the stuff on Reddit or wherever. That's how patches get fixed is people talk about them. So if you have to hack seven things and you're like, yeah, but I'm not going to let the bank take $1 more of my annual fee, why are you paying it? If you have to spend, if your part-time job is figuring out how to quote maximize your credit cards and you're miserable, if you like it, fine. But if you're miserable and hate having to do this and talk about how credit cards are just coupon books and you hate it, just go with different cards, man. Just go with some Hilton cards. Hilton cards are the easiest cards in the known universe to use. You got a couple of go stay at a Hilton or go to dinner at a Hilton. There's a Hilton that I go to. They have the most amazing cheeseburgers with like bacon onion jam on them. They're sliders. They're incredible. I will take an hour off of work to go there if I'm flying out early the next morning to make sure I am there before dinner service closes so I can get these cheeseburgers. Like it's worth an hour of PTO just to get these cheeseburgers. And guess what? It's a Hilton restaurant. Codes is Hilton. So I'm getting my credit either there, and I have two Hilton cards with, actually, I have three right now. I will have two soon with Hilton credits. So I can use one for dinner, use one to book the hotel using my credits. Like, using your credit at a Hilton restaurant is not, but getting 19 gift cards and now Hilton can't give anybody a gift card is not using your card as intended. I get it. You don't like the coupon book, but guess what? Coupon books are not intended for you to have 15 cards. They're set up because most people have one to say five cards. So the reason that you have so many coupons is because you choose to have this many cards. That is a choice you made. The banks did not, quote, make you get that many cards. Because if you had a 2% or 2x catch-all and a couple of cards to 3, 4, or 5% on different things, that's all you need, quote, need. So you making your life harder is not using your cards as intended. You're just trying to feel like you're smarter than everybody else by hacking your way to breaking things for other people. That is my definition.
Thank you. Before I throw to Craig, real quick, join me on camera B. If you're that person who is doing the trying to minimize everything to get every single cent out of the coupons, you know what you're doing? You're adding to American Express's or soon Chase's bottom line for the sales of these credits and continuing to propagate the coupon book that you claim to hate. If you don't want coupons, do not use the coupons. Do not minimize your spend to the absolute bare minimum so that you're getting one over on the bank because the bank counts that as a sale. And the more sales that they're getting and the more service fees that they're getting, the more likely they are to add more coupons to the cards that you love.
Matt, I'm not using the Equinox credit. You can't make me.
That's fine. I'm not going to be going out of my way to grab the Peloton credit every month. But if you're someone who makes minimizing your card's annual fee and maximizing the amount back to you as your part-time job, and you're making that because you enjoy making life miserable for everyone else, and you're not getting anything over on the banks. I resume to Craig.
Hi. So before I give my answer, I want to give a disclaimer for one thing. For all the people out there, it is not influencers that are the ones that are ruining credit cards for you. I am so absolutely tired of seeing that across Discords and Reddit threads. Influencers are not the ones that are ruining it. And if it is, let's just be realistic. There are maybe 6 people in our community that have over 100,000 subs,
I'm
and
not one of them.
even them, they are not the ones that are going into the nitty gritty, deep, dark stuff that you all are doing in these Reddit threads. Because for anyone that didn't know, again, 5-star general, the big back army over here, I spend an absolute ton on groceries every single year. I have been in Reddit threads where people are trying to show me how to liquidate the Amex Gold dining credit through Grubhub, through all these wonderful ways. Let me assure you, I have better things to worry about than trying to liquidate a $10 a month credit through customer service calls and price matching and all these other things. I do not care. I'll be realistic. I have two gold cards right now. I've outside of the Uber credit, have not, and the Dunkin' Donuts credit on one, haven't touched the single Grubhub credit on that card. And don't plan to because I plan on product changing it to a gold card, a green card, now that my CSR is going away with my general travel. The second thing, some things just aren't for you. When the Hilton Surpass originally made its change back in 2024, was it 24 or 23?
Late 23, early 24, one of those.
Yeah, when it originally made the change, I thought I stay at a Hilton at least 5 or 6 times a quarter. This is perfect for me. This is just a free $50, just flat out. And then we got into and I want to say the average person didn't or doesn't travel as much as I do, either for work or for personal reasons. And so I get sometimes where you're like, hey, I'm just not going to make it this quarter. I would love a way to liquidate that. And to RJ's point, go to a Hilton, grab breakfast, grab snacks, anything. It's free. Do your thing. It's not free. There's other things in there, but for context and purposes here. But now when we're talking about, hey, what do you mean you won't take my 6 Hilton gift cards because I only stay at a Hilton once every 3 years and I have them stacked up? Or what do you mean I can't liquidate my Hilton Aspire credit because I only stay at a Hilton resort once every 4 or 5 years? It is okay to say that a card is just not for you and that you got the card for a sub. But if you got the card because I really enjoy the perks here for this specific use case, that is what a card is for, right? Like, to Matt's earlier point, the house always wins. If you're gambling at a casino, there are 3 games that you can win. And one of those, if you are doing too well, the house will tell you, you can't play blackjack anymore. So sorry. Don't care who, you're winning too much. We're done here. And is that fair? Probably not. Is that the way that things go? Yeah. And so I just, it is a constant, it constantly baffles me when I see people concerning themselves with, and I get it. We are a game of margins with points and miles and everything else. And we are, our whole premise, not for me. Yes, saving money is an important part of it, but it is not the primary part. To RJ and to Lonnie's point throughout this podcast, I will gladly skip out on cents per point if it means that my family can have a good time, right? I do not care how many cent per point I am getting. If my family or my wife or my kid can look back at this and say, I had a good time, dad or husband or insert blank friend, awesome. Does that mean that I'll get to use, prime example, again, I should be the absolute target for the gold card. Didn't use $9 of my Resi credit on one of those cards today, this past 6 months. I'm absolutely devastated, and I'm thinking that Amex is going to call me any day now, and we're going to have a sit down conversation about it. But I'm using the card as intended. If you look at that card, it is charge after charge of food, random charge that someone threw on there because my niece is on the card, and I was like, oh, why did you buy Beyonce tickets? Don't do that. But yeah, it's okay to just say that this isn't for me. It is okay because, prime example, I like to go to Disney. There are Disney resorts all over the place that are Hiltons. If I didn't, there's no reason for me to worry about having to save $400 a year on the Hilton Aspire credit. You don't need to try to liquidate it. You don't need to try to figure out how I can get cash back out of these things or how I can. That's how we got to the Venture X not being a credit, but also just a coupon now, right? Like things will break. Let me assure you, no matter how you feel about how terribly a company is run, they have better data than you. They have better and more workers than you. They have more information than you. And they will see an aggregate, they will see a trend, and they will change things to no longer be in your favor. So, again, to Matt's point, if you are only using the absolute bare minimum, I have a $50 Saks credit and I spend $50.03 every year. Amex sees that and they will change it and they will make it more difficult to use, or they will make say, oh, people are using it, so let's give them more credits. I will get off my high horse now, but please, when I say use your cards as intended, is it a part of your daily life, or are you trying to secret agent math your way into saying that this works?
Also, if you spend more time in an office supply store than you do in your house, you may have a problem.
Also fair.
We'll talk
How did
after,
you
Matt.
know it took up residence at Staples? Like the bunker's gone. This is a Staples storeroom at this point.
I mean, it
I don't
very
have a
well could
problem.
be. We haven't seen the bunker in months.
Little sad it's not an Office Max though.
New York's hottest club is Office Max,
Ooh, like that.
specifically the one on 57th. This Office Max has everything. All right, I'm not going to do that bit. Yeah, so there we go. Double. I think we have given you the as intended as best we can for that. So